bottom of the barrel. Sorry, my words got caught up there, but once again, yeah, right? What a good area to be welcome to. We are once again joined by Katie and Star.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Katie, she's Star.
Hi. I'm Star, she's Katie.
Such a Disney intro and I love it.
Hi, we're the bottom of the barrel, and welcome to the Disney Channel. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out. Sometimes the speech impediment comes back and I can't control it.
I call it my dyslexia speaking.
I could not say complete sentences until I was like.
I swear, like sometimes, like I'm already talking about, like, oh, that's definitely how I would say it. Spanish was my first language.
Y'all ever do that thing where like you're taking notes and then you think something else in your head, or like you start a conversation with someone and then you like write down what you just said, and then you look at your notes and you're like, what is that? I had a lengthy discussion about that last night.
Questions?
Yeah. We do have questions. We are
questions,
by the way.
Questions?
Yes, would you like to clip on your earring? It's hurting my ear.
Me?
Yes, you can put it on your ear.
Hi. I kind of need
You
the
know where
left.
else you can put it?
You could left your leg up, Carson.
I was just
You can have it back down. I'm joking.
You may have questions.
Oh, are you actually trying to put it up?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go with the question.
Alright, so our first question is favorite childhood memory.
Hey Star,
You want to start?
go.
Sure. So this sounds like really lame and cutesy and like something out of like a suburban movie. But I was around I was like maybe 7 or 8. I had to have been like young, cause in the neighborhood where I lived when I was younger, you know, it was like everyone went out to play, and especially during the summer and like on the weekends and stuff like that. Like we all physically got out and together to play. So there would just be like a gaggle of neighborhood kids. I'm here for it.
Gaggle?
A gaggle.
Define gaggle,
A group.
please.
It's a group. Anyways,
Gaggle.
a
I've heard
gaggle.
that word like 4 times in my entire life, and 2 of them were just now.
Anyways, so yeah, there'd be just a bunch of like neighborhood kids just all together, like a bunch of little fiends. My best friend, my childhood best friend, Nydia, I love you with all my heart, girl. She lived like 2 houses down from me and stuff like that, and like the neighborhood kids were like her friends and my friends, and we would all like get together. Anyway, so one afternoon, it was during the summer, me and Nydia, we were like riding our little bikes because that's what we would do because we were all cool, whatever. We would like ride our bikes like all around the neighborhood and stuff like that.
Was it bumpy?
Huh?
Was it bumpy while you were riding your bike? Because you're doing this little shoulder thing.
No, it was just
So you're just not good at it.
The bike was going everywhere.
It's like when people pantomime driving like this, like, bro, that's so not good.
That's no.
Like,
Yeah, so like we were just riding our bikes, and everybody all the kids in the neighborhood had their bikes at point fun. So
side note, I can't ride a bike. Continue.
tragic. So they like all came out and stuff like that, and we were just all.
Katie doesn't need a bike, she rides a horse.
She does. What's it called? So like then like all the kids just like came out. We were all riding our bikes around the neighborhood like little like marindros with no parents and supervision. So we were just zooming around and stuff like that. And my house has like a pretty big front like driveway and stuff like that. And so we like all like parked our bikes like it was like a drive-in or something like that. So we all put our bikes like side by side. And my friend Nydia and I,
This is your story time, Trish.
yeah, we like
Shutting up. Stop telling me to shut up or I won't shut up.
we like made lunch for everybody,
Next
and we
person
made milkshake. It was my grandpa and my grandma who did it, and her grandma and grandpa. But hey, we had lunch for like everybody and milkshakes. Like it was like a little drive-in, and it was really cute. And honestly, like that is like whenever I like want to remember a time that
I wasn't the first one!
No, I did it earlier too, just not nearly that hard.
Jeez, are you okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever I think of a time that was simpler, I think back to that moment, and I'm like, oh.
That was the heartbeat while we were stopping. But,
Yeah.
also, I love the fact that we were still talking about his injury, and Star just like, my story!
I saw that ice cube fall.
Yeah.
It was a water droplet. Thank you.
It like rolled off. You got like that water
It's
resistance
because
shit on
it's
the floor.
it's mesh. That's why.
Because that thing just went straight like
Yeah.
right down.
Because it's mesh. It's a mesh.
It's like a water slide.
I heard that it's fucking mesh, okay?
Wait,
It's
is it mesh?
Wait, what is it made
It's a mesh, my guy.
of? Who's going next? Are we
I'm
going
just gonna go like this.
crescent?
I'm good.
Yeah.
So
Croissant.
stop! I could have dropped my croissant. So I grew up. I have like 11 like older cousins on my dad's side. Yeah. Yes, I saw that.
Huh?
I saw your eyes just go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have. I legit have like 4 cousins.
Oh, I have
3.
so many
I
cousins.
have so many.
Ranchers and real people be like a shit ton of cousins on both sides of the family.
And then there's Amberly, who just has lots of cousins.
Anyways.
Again?
Oh, that was me, not her!
It's
Anyways.
a bad spot to lean back onto.
It's like stop.
Yo, toss me a cookie.
Yeah, me too. I was about to ask that.
Continue, Amberly.
Okay.
I just
Okay,
want a cookie.
so we used to do like these like family bashes like during the summer just so everyone could like get together and just like basically hang out
Where's that?
and be crazy. So we used to do like relay races and all of that, and one of my favorite ones is it was a Hawaiian thing because we had different things of like things, and basically we had different teams and all of that.
Right.
And I was, of course, me being the youngest person in the
I'm
family.
going to hit you with my shoe.
You're not wearing one!
I will go get it.
I was gonna do it until Amberly acknowledged that she just kept going.
Yeah, because she's used to you two.
Come on, it was funny.
You want one too?
I guess I'm having a cookie.
Oh,
Let's
if
all-
you don't want one.
Let's all cookie in unison.
Yeah, I know, but like, bro, if you don't want one, I can have this whole one to myself.
You already broke it in half.
We're cheersing.
Oh,
it's cheers in the
Okay,
cheers.
everybody have a cookie. Fuck Amberly's story, that doesn't matter.
Smart.
Oh, cheers.
Okay,
Alright.
so
Cousins, right?
yes,
Really, Rich.
Hawaiian theme. I'm the youngest. In this moment, but like just hanging out with my family and all of those like family times with like all of the family are always good.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten together in a while. So it's
Yeah,
nice.
I feel that.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so fun fact about me, it goes back to the accident proneness and injury prone thing that Carson and I were talking about before.
Yeah, that's from last episode.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched last episode, go
Then what are you
do
even
it.
doing?
Yeah,
Wait,
watch it.
why are you skipping
Why are you
episodes?
here?
Why are
They
you
come
skipping
out,
episodes?
they're a week apart exactly, so you have time. Watch it.
Yeah, watch the other one. Anyway, I'm very injury prone. And when I was 10,
Dios mío, santo, santificado sea tu nombre.
I don't
What is
know.
going on?
Stop making Amberly have to subtitle you.
I'm not even subtitling all of it. You're
Yeah,
gonna
anyone
have to
who
guess what
doesn't
you're
speak
saying.
Spanish is
Too
gonna have to
fucking
like
bad.
hold it up to Google Translate. and
I
just figure out what
really do
Star's
not know a
saying.
word of Spanish, so
Yeah,
Too bad.
I know what that
I'm not subtitling it.
Anyway, when I was 10, I had this injury where I hit a tree skiing, full body whiplash, not fun. I don't remember most of my childhood unless like someone has told me the story of it. So yeah, I had a little bit of scrambling going on. So I'm just gonna tell a story of when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
So
like
it's
I do have a side question. How much of our lives are we considering childhood?
I'm considering like before preteen.
So like anything
just chose
prior to
engineering.
middle school, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Most of my cousins
Prior
went college
to the
and
first
like,
year of
so-
middle school.
Okay, so like
So, yeah,
birth
before
through like 7th grade.
Yeah,
Sure.
why not?
Okay.
Continue.
Great. I was 13. I was with my cousin. I was born and raised on like a farm ranch, so I rode horses my entire life. But my cousin and I were hanging out. He also rides horses. What?
Just
Go
continue.
ahead.
I'm gonna. Okay.
I thought that was part of it. I'm gonna be honest. I thought the what was part of it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, he rides horses too, big surprise. That's what I thought.
Wow, someone in my family rides horse.
That is how I took that. I didn't know that we were getting shit on. If you're gonna spit, just spit, alright?
Not on the computer.
No!
In the Milano bag.
It is empty.
Please continue, Katie.
Anyway,
As Star wheezes.
my cousin came over to my house, and I was also a rodeo kid, so I had a big arena on our property. And at one point, I had the bright idea. My cousin let me do so much with him as well. Like, I would say, I have an idea, and then we'd do it, and we'd usually wind up either getting hurt or getting in trouble.
I have an idea.
Yeah, that's sometimes how I would phrase it. I would say, hey, I've got an idea so we won't be bored. I got my cousin and I into a lot of trouble when we were younger because of my stupid ideas. But my mom was there and his mom was there also, so I thought, oh, this will be a good idea actually because, like, the parents are here. What the fuck?
What are you two doing?
I was itching her hat.
Okay.
Great.
Literally just
Anyway.
I have an itch. Itch your hat.
Did you just call me your inch queen?
No.
Dad is talking. Let them finish.
Continue.
Sorry, wife.
I thought it would be fine, and it was fine, more or less. But I was like, hey, Jean, my cousin, let's do a boot race. For anyone who hasn't done a boot race before, basically it's a horseback riding event, obviously. But you leave your boots on one end of the arena, you go to the other end of the arena. When someone says go, you race your horses to the end, jump off, grab your boots, jump back on your horse, and then run back. Whoever gets back first wins.
This can't go well.
I know.
No, I was fine.
Oh
Yeah, I'm getting to that. But we started, my mom, I think, was the one who said go. So we raced to the other end. I jumped off. I'd done it before, he hadn't. So I already had an advantage. But I jumped off, got my boots on, jumped back on my horse really quickly. Jean, being competitive like me, saw that I was going to win, so he didn't even put his shoes on fully, jumped on the side of his horse, not actually on his horse, and he had trained his horse to run when he shouted yeehaw. Or, yeah, yeehaw, or something along those lines. Or go, or run. I don't remember.
Wow.
He trained his horse to sprint at that word. So he shouted it while he's holding one boot in his hand and the saddle. And he thought he could swing on the horse as the horse was running.
Not gonna happen.
Spoiler, he couldn't. I got to the finish line, turned around, shouting, I win, and I just see his horse run by me without Jean. So I turned around, and Jean is walking towards me with both of his boots in his hand.
Why did he put him on?
Because he
He's
wanted to go get his
competitive.
horse. But I looked at him and I said, hey, you okay? And he lifts up his boots and he goes, your arena's soft!
Oh.
I love this memory because also it shows the relationship I have with my cousin because, again, I've gotten us into a lot of trouble with my ideas. And, like, his horse found the first patch of grass and stopped, so we were fine.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, if you think that one's bad, there was another one. I was riding with that same cousin, and we were with his brother and his little sister and his mom. And sunflowers grow a lot in my little town. And Jean and I had the bright idea. Jean actually proposed this one. And he was like, hey, you want to compete with this? Whoever grabs the most sunflowers from the ground wins.
The way he latched out to you, literally.
I can't see, so I'm
You're
just going to
like
use my imagination.
God, you're like this little feral kitten. Just.
But at one point, like, you would get more points if you went lower to the ground to get your sunflower. So at one point, I had this bright idea, and my horse is also very tall. His horse was not.
Who? Which one is it?
Jean.
No. Which
Tex. I was riding Tex.
Oh, he's mega big.
He very big.
He
very
big boy.
I'm like 5'9",
Big
and his back is like up to here. So he's big boy. But I saw a sunflower that was on the ground, and I decided I wanted that one. My aunt had no clue I had this idea. One minute I was straight up in the saddle, the next minute my foot was in the air, I was on the ground, and I was holding on to the saddle horn, straight up and down, because if you got off your horse, you would lose. My aunt looks over, just sees one foot in the air and nothing else of her knees, immediately panics and runs her horse over mine, which makes my horse take off.
Oh.
I did hit the ground, somehow. I did scrape up my hand as I was trying to pull it back up because I hit a rock. So yeah, that's not even the worst one I have.
No,
Like you
moving
body
on.
trap.
We'll save the
Back
rest
in
of
the
those
place.
for another
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
Wait,
Body
wait,
trap.
fuck
That my family still doesn't know about because
Well, we'll have an episode later dedicated to
just
just
Katie?
like times Katie has absolutely wrecked herself.
it'll yep.
All right, Nate, I
God.
think it's your turn.
Cool. Sorry.
All right, that was it.
Carson.
I said it in that really quick.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Slow
slow
down
the
the
video
video.
down.
Can't say it at the same time.
What if they actually do it? They just hear.
Stop!
Hey, continue, Nate.
Alright, so one random 4th of July. I really don't know what year, how old I was. Wow, it's not me this time? I had gotten a new bike for my uncle and cousin, but we also had our family from Las Vegas over, and they don't normally visit, so it was really fun. Why is this mouth pissing me off this time?
I'm close to you. I would do
Like,
it to
I'm
Carson.
used to you.
I would do it to Carson, but I can't reach him.
So anyway,
Continue, yeah.
I got this new bike for my size, which, you know, I'm a pretty big boy, so it was even really big for me at that time. But we were just having a good time with my family, and we were just playing around, and I'm like, I want to ride on this huge ass bike. So anyway, my cousin and I, who I was really close with, I just get on my bike and I start riding. It was the first time I actually had a bike with like handlebar brakes instead of like just starting to pedal backwards and it won't brake. Okay.
Continue. You didn't do anything. That's
No,
not
but it was stars like.
We're just staring at you and listening
No,
to your story.
it's not you too. That's what I'm saying. It's Star's confusion about what I said. What are
Yeah.
you confused about?
Huh.
Stars like.
I never
right?
had. It's because no, it's because at least I can ride one. Thank you.
I bet I can run faster than you do.
true.
Yeah, you can absolutely. I'm fat and out of shape. You can absolutely run faster than
Longest
me.
leg gang.
Anyways, it's because I never had a bike that like stopped when you backpedal. I've always had.
It was mostly just like little
I
kid
flipped
home
over the
square.
handlebars of my bike.
But anyway, it was my first time on this bike and trying it out, and it was really huge. But it was just a simple, like, very soft curve neighborhood street that I lived on. So I was just riding up and down it, and then at this point, I just really wanted to ride through like this big old puddle of water.
Yeah.
And as I'm going through it, there's so many rocks in there that I can't see. So I hit one and I get scared and I just brake check myself.
Oh
And I
no!
get launched forward because I go with my front brakes instead of my back brakes.
Oh,
So I get launched.
girl!
And because of the size that I am, I was really small in comparison to. Sorry, that was funny. But I get launched. I'm holding onto the handlebar, but I'm already on the ground. And the bike's slowly tipping onto me. And I'm like sprawled like this, and it just smashes smashes the handlebar into my mouth, and I can barely open up this eye, I think.
How is this your favorite childhood memory?
I'm getting to it!
I'm getting to it.
But I can barely
Injury in mine.
open up my eye, and my cousin who was just running alongside is just like stunned, and I'm like, can you get help? And he instantly runs. My uncle that lives in Las Vegas is a police officer, was, now he's a like a personal bodyguard. So he was able to pick me up and like just carry me like a sack of potatoes and run me to my
The fireman
house.
just
Yeah.
Like a sack
Yeah,
of
I mean,
potatoes.
that's my entire dad's side is all like government. My dad's the only one that's not in like a physical like branch of it, so it's not like firefighting, police officer, or something else like something else. My brain stopped working. But he just sets me on the couch, and all my family's there actually like caring about me, and it was really nice because like my dad fights all the time with his siblings, and like even for that one, there are pictures of them not getting along and like them throwing up middle fingers to the camera and their mom, and so just having that, and then my mom being like, your teeth don't really want to bite down or eat anything. Here's a whole one of those huge like 2-gallon pickle jars.
Nice.
Full of pickle juice only.
No!
Yes, that was the only thing that I could eat was pickle juice and pickles by softly like slowly scraping off pickles. And it was just fun because everyone was laughing at me because I could only do that. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty funny, right? This is stupid. Why would I have to do this?
This suck on a
You would
pickle.
fit
Yeah, suck
so
on a
in my
pickle.
family. You would fit
Girl,
so
what in the...
So it's my turn, right?
Guys, it won't work.
You wanted my leg off of you.
I'm just gonna go while Star figures out how to sit. That'll do.
Where then?
I'm taking
I
it
really should have
off.
thought more about this.
That's why
So I don't have anything like specific. Even though my memory is usually really good, I don't like recall super specific stuff from childhood. Just like when I was in like elementary school, me and my best friend Pierce, we hung out like all the time, and I think just like all of my favorite moments from my childhood are hanging out with him and like playing World of Warcraft or like throwing a football around outside. That one time I hyperextended my knee running down a hill was really funny.
Jesus.
Yeah, but just hanging out with him, and like we would go to the pool all the time. Our families would hang out a lot, and our families don't hang out much at all anymore. And there's a lot to that I'm not going to talk about. But yeah, it's been a while, and it's nice to look back on all of that from then. So yeah, just anything with him. That's all I got.
Welcome.
Next question.
That's all.
You're there? Sure. What is the craziest / adrenaline junkie thing you've ever done?
Immediately looks like it.
Catalina, would you like
I'm
to go
starting this
first?
one.
It's...
I need a bit to think about it because I've done a lot.
Alright.
Somebody else go. I'm thinking.
I'm also thinking.
Question, must it be PG? No. Okay.
It doesn't have to be just like not gruesome detail.
Yeah.
Preferably.
I got you. No, it's not, like, it's just, it happened when I was drunk, so.
Just don't disclose that and then tell
Well,
the story.
Oh, wait, okay.
So.
Just like
Star.
just tell the story.
Alright, so, damn, my gosh, I got wilding out. Okay, so,
Okay.
here, picture it. The Golden Girls moment. Picture it, Sicily, 1922. Anyways, so it's...
Live back then?
It's the Golden Girls moment, thank you.
He was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Way to work. Anyway, so it was sometime around, it was New Year...
Hell yeah.
It was last year's New Year. The 2019 going into 20. Before the world changed. I was back home for... I was back home for winter break. And I had spent like New Year's like my whole life with my family and stuff like that. So I told my mom that I was gonna spend it with a friend of mine. Yeah, so I told her I was gonna spend it with a friend of mine, and she was like, "Yeah, that's absolutely okay. Just be careful, be safe. Text me if you're coming home or like doing basic parental stuff of like going out." So the night started with the two of us just hanging out, and then another mutual friend of ours.
I can go next, is all.
Oh, okay. Another mutual friend of ours was like, hey, we have a New Year's party, come on over. So we were like, bet! So I was like, bet. So we went over. At first we were a little bit like, a little bit upset because it was his friends, like family get together. So we were like, oh, but this is family, like feel a little weird. But then like we started like chilling, hanging out and stuff like that, and it was actually really fun. I played a lot of Pong. It was great. We had nachos and tacos, and it was delicious. But also, so anyways, so
yeah, how's this adrenaline junkie-esque?
Well, it scared the hell out of me. Well, I guess it's not. It's just like a story.
It's just crazy.
It said, oh, craziest, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Mine's a little bit above.
Yeah, so, we, like, New Year's hits, right? We're throwing out fireworks and stuff like that. So then our friend who originally invited us over was like, yo, I just got the Addy to a warehouse party. I just got the Addy for a party. And we were like, bet! So it wasn't, the warehouse party comes in a little bit. It's not.
Amberly smacked her head.
Beba. Anyways, so, first party we went to, it was, I was supposed to be at a hotel. So like, it was, it was the four or five of us. We were like running around, going crazy, looking for the hotel room. We were like disturbing guests. At one point, we knocked on somebody's door, and we were like, he was like shouting. I think his name was Andres. We were like, Andres, is that you? And then this poor man just walks out. He's like, no, not me. And we were like, okay, so we're running around. Turns out it was at a different hotel. We went to that hotel. Very creepy vibes at that hotel. But then we got the address to a warehouse party. The second we roll up, the cops pulled up. And we were like, whoo! Made a fucking U-turn. We drove around for the night. We danced in the street by the highway.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is surprisingly lame.
Tame. Yeah, it is really tame. It's the only one I could think.
You were like,
well, I'm sorry.
wild, and it's like.
I'm sorry.
And also, it's just like perspective. It's perspective wise.
Yeah.
So like, this is still your perspective.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Just because Carson has fucking chased by the cops.
Yeah, mine's just bad. We didn't even do anything. Okay, I guess it's my turn.
It's Carson's turn.
So. It's not even like, it was so dumb on why it happened too. So I was hanging out with a couple friends and we were just like driving. I don't remember where we were going. We were going somewhere to do something and I genuinely do not recall what. Like I'm not even trying to be like sus and like hide what we were doing. No, I genuinely have no fucking clue what we were doing. I think we were just driving around, like bumping music. This was high school. So we're just like listening to music, like just digging around. Excuse me. So we were driving, then we pull up to a stoplight, and we hear someone yelling at us. We turn, it's some of our other friends in their car, like yelling at us. So we open the windows and we're like, "What's up?" And we're like, "What's up?" Like we're high as shit. We were like, "That's fucking cool." And we just like yelled at each other at that stoplight, and then like it turns green, and we drive. And we were like just kind of going the same way, so we're still like yelling back and forth. Next thing we know, cop car following us, no lights, just following us.
Oh, that's sus.
So like didn't turn the lights on, just following us, and we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
So we pull into a Walmart parking lot, like a big ass Walmart in Highlands Ranch. It's huge. We pull into the parking lot, we park, follows us in. Thankfully for us, we turned and they got stopped at the light, so they couldn't turn. So we go in, pull in, and we're like, okay, we're just gonna sit here for a minute. It starts going up and down the aisles looking for us, and we're like, fuck. So we all get out of the car, both groups, both cars, get out into Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is where it's so bad. We're just like trying to not be. We're just trying to like avoid, right?
Be suspicious.
So
Be
right.
suspicious.
So we
Don't be
literally,
suspicious.
and I took charge of this situation like that. I was like, okay, so everybody else is freaking out. I gotta do something. So I was like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna branch off and not be in a big group, okay? Nobody go, like 2 people. There was an odd number. I went by myself. So it was like everybody else branched off into 2s, and I went by myself. And we're just walking around, and it was like, all right, when you think it's clear to go to the exit and leave, go to the exit and leave, and get the fuck out of here, okay? I stayed to make sure everybody else got out before me.
I stayed.
First person, my friend David, first one out, texts me, there's 4 cars in. They called backup.
Girl!
So he's like, they're here, like lights flashing this time, like, fuck, bro.
Girl!
So I've told my parents this too. This isn't a big deal. So I'm still in the Walmart, right? And I look to the door, and there's like multiple cops there, and I'm like, shit. So I double back, do another whole loop, come back, get out, and I'm walking, and I see, oh right, there are multiple fucking cops here. So I get to like the point where I can book it, and I book it because everybody else got in their cars and dipped. So I'm on foot, like I'm running straight up. I ran across the street to a different parking lot where my friend like pulled up. I got in, and we went back to one of our friends' place for a little bit, and they decided, like 2 of them, the 2 girls we were hanging out with, were like, okay, we're gonna stay here tonight. You guys can't stay here because my friend and one of the girls were dating at the point in time, so that was not gonna fly. Plus her parents were strict. So me and my friend needed to leave, so we took all of the back roads possible to get to my house, and he was like, bro, I don't feel like I can leave. Like, what if they're looking for my car? And I was like, that's really valid. My parents won't be angry. Let's just tell them what happened.
Oh my god!
So he ended up staying there, and yeah, it was a school night too.
Sis!
Yeah, it was whack.
Definite.
Like for no reason, they were just like, because a cop, nothing happens in Highlands Ranch crime-wise.
Yeah.
So cops just like to scare teenagers.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But like straight up, I'm pretty sure we could have gotten arrested.
Yeah, for like, not resisting, for like avoiding them, I think.
No, we didn't
Well, no,
commit any
they
crimes.
can't
We were
do
just
that.
being loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They
they don't
got
do
noise
anything, so they
ordinance.
just, I'm pretty sure they just wanted to scare us and probably thought we were doing something that we weren't. But yeah, that shit was nuts. I still remember that so vividly, and I was like, everybody tells me I'm a good leader, I guess I am. Because I was like, hey,
Yeah.
if anybody gets caught, it's gonna be me, right? I'll fucking stay and make sure everybody else gets out. Because I also firmly believe that I am definitely the most level-headed of that group. That was nuts. I don't hang out with any of them anymore, and it's a bummer, because that was crazy.
Jesus.
So
Never mind.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
that's what
Yeah.
I can say.
There's 2
What?
stories
I was
there.
like, if anyone could
If
top
anyone
that,
has
it's
something
Katie.
has
that's
to be
like
Katie.
on par craziness with that experience, it's Katie, so.
Yeah, so I have 2 of them. One of
Can
them
you
is
go
just-
last then?
Yeah, I'll
'Cause
just,
I
I'll
went
just go
first.
last. I will just go last. But can I say 2 of them or just one?
You can do 2, and then we
Okay.
can just,
No,
we can
no,
probably just
you
do like
can.
2 questions this episode, will be fine.
Okay.
So someone with a much less crazy story than Katie, go.
Jesus Christ. Well,
I
I
hope
went.
mine's not as crazy then.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, mine's not crazy.
I did some whack shit in high school. There's more than
Yeah.
that too.
Damn.
That's just the most nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just hold that on
you
you.
still on anything.
Now the whole internet knows it.
Yeah.
We didn't commit a crime. I don't know what they were fucking doing.
I did, but I wasn't
Well, 1, 2, around 3 crimes I did do.
Miss
but when they're
them.
hot,
Wow. I mean,
they're not like super crazy. Like the first one was when I was in kindergarten, and I
yeah.
just stole.
Oh, you told
stole
me
a
this.
My Little Pony
Yeah, yeah.
set for my sister
yeah,
for her
yours as well,
birthday.
which is nice.
Yeah. So I just fucking took it.
He was like, "Oh, my sister needs a birthday gift." Yoink.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, at least your shoplifting was for a noble purpose.
Anyway,
when it was in the middle of July and her birthday's in January, yeah, that makes sense.
But hey, it was still a noble purpose. Mine was to be like
Is that
a
the
little
story or
shit.
is there?
No,
there's
there's a
no
different one.
one.
I was just like, I was counting them.
That's
So
funny,
this
though.
one was after a cast party. I live in Littleton, Colorado, so like we're right next to all these foothills and valleys and everything. Red Rock Amphitheater, I almost
Red
wanted
Rocks.
to call it community park for some reason.
I mean, it is technically a national park.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. But right over there, so all those little foothills and such. This cast party for the show happened to be in the valley, so it was like this huge house and like very grand and all this space and everything. I was, I think, 16 or 17 at the time, so like I still had a 17 because curfew at midnight. And it was like 11:58 that I checked my phone because we're playing Jackbox games and we're having such a good time.
You know.
And I just check it and I'm like, oh,
Me,
all right, I guess
you and
I'm
me.
going.
Big fuck.
Yeah, it's basically. And
You stayed in high school.
I instantly get in my car. I roll down all my windows. I do the speed limit in that small neighborhood, and then once I get onto the highway out of the valley and out of that, yeah, basically
Shifted
I
the
think
it was
tempo,
like-
my
I think
guy.
it was like 45 and I'm going 60 or something like that. 15, not as bad as where I'm going to though. Believe me. Okay, so I get into the road that's right next to my high school and it's just a straight shot to my house. And there's barely any lights on, there's no cars around either, not even any like police officers in any of the parking lots there to double check.
No speed traps.
Yeah, no speed traps too. And I just instantly gun it on this 40 mile/hour road. I get up to 80.
Shift into turbo.
Yeah, I got into 80, and this is one where at the very end it's a hill, and in the past,
More
Chatfield
acceleration.
people have died there. So I was like, okay, so right before that, I gotta like really
shift that.
Yeah, and I did. I got down to directly 40 so I could get on that soft curve and get down, and then it's a straight hill down. Zoom back up to 80. I got green all the way though too, so I was happy.
Didn't have to slam your brakes.
No, luckily not.
That's nuts, my guy.
Yeah, I was so happy because I had my music blaring, and then I had like the windows down, so all this wind's rushing in. I was like,
Oh, that's great.
feeling everything.
Music's so loud, but you can't even hear it because all you hear is
Yeah,
the
basically.
wind.
And then the like, yeah,
Lot
that
of.
was it.
Love that. I
Everly's
also
very pure, so.
I know, I'm like-
She's got.
I also for prom did the same thing. Like after prom ended, we were just on the highway. We were just
Joke's on you.
and then I got in trouble.
Never got to go to prom.
Same.
Didn't go my junior
Well,
year,
almost
senior
didn't.
year, got
Almost
doinked.
My turn, right?
Amberly's
Yes.
turn.
Cool. So my like craziest something story. I don't even remember what the question was now.
Adrenaline rush.
The craziest
Sure.
or biggest adrenaline rush story,
It's
basically.
good.
Amberly is too pure for
I'm
us.
very very. So this is like like 5th grade, 4th grade.
Dave's out
like,
here breaking the law. I'm not gonna get chased by cops. Whatever the fuck happened to Katie, it's probably insane.
We'll hear next after
Sorry.
We saved the best for last.
Depends who you
Whatever.
ask.
So like 4th, 5th grade, like the summertime.
5th grade.
Just wait, you will hear the story.
That
So
probably has to do
young.
with
You will hear
juvenile
the story.
delinquency.
You will hear the story. I was hanging out with my cousin who's like 34 days older than me, so like we always had like this breaks like in between schools like at the same time, because we also went to the same school district, so it was just very easy. And of course his sister like during the summertime would get paid for babysitting us, and we were riding. He lives in like a cul-de-sac, so we were riding around like on bikes and like scooters and doing like the jumps and all of that. And I don't remember how it exactly happened. All I remember is he like did the jump, and all I saw was his bike go like this.
Oh, fuck.
And he basically landed on his back, and like he moved his face like this for some stupid reason, and of course like skidded his face. And of course, I'm not good. Like, I can handle blood, but like when it's someone I care about, I can't handle blood.
I thought you were gonna be like, but not this much, and I puked all over.
And of course, I was like, this is weird. So of course, me being like, I need to go get his sister because he's literally bleeding to death. Not to death, but
Probably not even that bad, but when you're young, it feels like the end of the world.
So I'm like running inside. I think she was on like the phone, like with her like boyfriend or something at the time, like just like, you know, the casual like summer conversation of like, yeah, I'm babysitting, but I want to call my boyfriend. You know? And I'm like, Chloe just fell and he's bleeding. That's all I say. He's gonna die! Basically what I say. And she of course runs out and is like so good about it and like brings him in his room, and I'm over here like, what's happening? The whole time.
We love
And of course I'm like to the point of crying where I'm like, are you okay? So I didn't do much in high school, and like I didn't really like hang out with people in high school because I was that lonely. So yeah. Katie's she's gonna point on me immediately.
All of us.
Katie
Okay,
can compete
so-
with Nate and I here.
Yeah. So for this one, a crime was actually technically committed.
We love that.
So yeah, it was great. So it started off 4-H event. I was with my brother and his friends, and my brother was always the more crazy one of the two of us in terms of like breaking the laws and never getting caught, kind of thing.
Jesus Christ. Y'all were the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, my brother wanted to be the Dukes of Hazzard, but
Alright, now we have to swap seats.
Anyway, there was a 4-H dance. We went to the dance and we told our parents, all of us, because there was like 8 of us, I think, and we were piled into 2 vehicles. Both of which were trucks.
Nice.
But we told all of our parents that we were going to go to this dance. The dance was hella boring, so we left.
Yeah,
Which
as
was a
us.
big thing already. I
I've
knew
done
I
that
was
so
going to
many
get grounded
times.
for it anyway, because I could never do anything wrong.
Well,
I
this
couldn't
dance
step a
was
toe
fun.
out of line without getting
Maybe
grounded.
something else. Yeah.
So we left the dance, went to Sonic, got food, and it was in Raton, New Mexico. Raton doesn't have any other place for teenagers to really hang out except driving up and down the neighborhoods. Well, there was a railroad, and it was private. It wasn't private property, but it was government property, and it was one of those things that was like.
I like how you say it's better when it's so much
private
worse.
property, but
It wasn't private, it was just government property. So much worse.
Okay, so there was a no trespassing sign, but also the no trespassing sign had already been knocked down, so we weren't the first ones to do this.
Oh, wow.
But all of the
Because
guys,
that's
because there was
okay.
like 3 girls in this whole, like, it was a sausage fest basically.
Oh.
All of these guys were like, yeah, let's go to the train tracks to go eat. So we did that, and we passed the no trespassing sign, and we got to this like little dirt thing that was right next to the train tracks. And of course, because they're all country kids, they of course have chairs in the back of their truck, so everybody pulls out the chairs, and we're like gathered
Just
around,
make
playing
yourself at
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, as one does, on land that we're not supposed to be on.
But
We were, we just started eating and we were bullshitting with everybody. And I got a call from my parents who were like, hey, we're at the dance, where are you?
Fuck.
Because my mom
At the
doesn't
dance?
trust me. She doesn't trust me. This was the first time I'd done anything like this in terms of like crime and not being where I'm supposed to do kind of thing.
Bathroom.
Instead, I was like, we went and got Sonic. Because like hell was I going to tell her that we were at a place where we were not supposed to be. And she still doesn't know the rest of this story. She's like, oh,
Hopefully she
okay.
doesn't watch this.
Well, you need to get back to the housing thing that we were staying at, because it was like a 4-H event. And bring your brother, bring all of the friends too, because all of you aren't where you're supposed to be. So I was like, okay, this is a little bit of overreaction because you don't know the rest of it, but okay. At that same time, when I told Ethan that we had to go, we saw a flash of red, white, or red and blue.
Oh,
And it just kind of went over the landscape because we were surrounded by trees.
Get down.
So we could see it through the tree line. All of these yeez ideas was everybody jump in the truck. They didn't put the chairs away neatly, they just chucked them in the back of the truck. At one point, I had a friend literally jump through a window because his ride was already leaving him.
Oh, I had to do that.
Sick.
I've had
So
to do that
we all piled into the trucks, drifted out of this dirt lot by the train tracks. We went over the tracks rather than going out the way that the cops were coming in.
That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, and we lost them in the cul-de-sacs and then floored it back to where we were supposed to be. And we were all so paranoid that we were still gonna see a flash of red and blue. Because like we went through the neighborhood a few times just to make sure that we lost them. At one point, my ride, because the two trucks like split off so we would be harder to track. We turned off the lights and we were just like coasting along a back road just to make sure. And then the moment we got close to the interstate, we jumped on the interstate and he did like 100 going back to the housing.
Jesus!
So I was definitely grounded by the time I got back.
I'm finna whip this one.
Yeah, it was really fun, and like we drifted around corners so often because like we were being chased by the cops.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go real fast. And like we met up with the other truck and they were fine. And then because that wasn't enough, we decided to have a race between the other vehicle and us.
While escaping the cops.
Yep, it's great. We won though, so there's that.
Nice.
I hate you!
And then they got arrested.
Nope.
No, they got arrested.
The cops didn't know
Because they
anything,
lost.
nobody else knew anything, and then we went into more government property where we were staying. That was where we were staying, we were allowed to be there, but the cops couldn't go there. So we got away.
Nice.
And it was so dark, they couldn't see our license plate.
Sick.
So we were fine. So there was that story. I was like 15 at the time.
Of course.
And then, for the other story,
Yeah, Katie's got 2.
for the other story that is my
She's got a bunch,
adrenaline
but we only
I
have-
so many.
We only have
We could
time
go
for 2.
whole like 2 weeks episode.
We could do
story,
multiple episodes on this because I've got way more whack shit I did in high school.
Yeah, Carson and I could just trade stories back and forth. But then the
judge.
other one,
Yeah.
y'all could like reference.
Judge who's better.
Okay,
just
so
don't judge.
for the next story, it's an adrenaline rush kind of story. I was at work and I worked as a horseback trail guide
Yeah, sure.
in the mountains of Red River.
Fly off.
And in the mountains, like the clouds come down low and there's usually lightning nearby. So usually when we have storms in the area, we don't send out any rides.
Well.
Yeah, well, we started going, we could see the thunderheads above us, and here's a tip, if you're in the mountains and the air gets crackly, leave. Or find shelter, because you're about to get struck by lightning.
Yes.
So that happened, and there was 2 guides here. There was 2 guides, myself and another one named Jesse. We asked the people, because we always do, we asked the people if they want to go back. Because we weren't in danger yet.
Yes.
Yes.
But we
So-
will be shortly.
Yeah.
Not to
We
fear,
told
ladies and
them, we
gentlemen.
were point blank. We told them, a storm is rolling in, you can see it all around us, this might get dicey, do you want to turn back now? Because if we go any further, it won't make any point turning back.
Fight the storm.
Yeah, at that point you just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if we go any further, we would have been halfway, and it's just a big loop, so we would have just had to keep going. And like we don't really have that much shelter, and I've been on this trail before where it's rained so bad a tree has come down on us.
Oh,
So it can be a dangerous trail, and we told them point blank, and they were like, no, we're good, because they were city slickers, of course.
Uh-huh.
And
so
they
think
were
they're
like,
hot shit.
yeah, they think they're hot shit, and they wanted adventure, so they were like, no, we're good, let's keep going. So Jesse and I were like, okay, we'll keep going, because we're probably going to be fine.
No.
We get halfway, it starts pouring on us.
Oh,
Pouring so
man.
bad, I can't even see the horse in front of me, kind of bad. And it was dark because the clouds were super low. And it was really, really cool. And I love being in storms anyway, so like immediately my heart was pounding when we started the ride. But I adored it. We had to keep the horses calm and we had to keep the people calm. So we were trying to talk over the sound of the rain, which was real fucking difficult. But we could hear the thunder rolling through the canyon and it kept getting closer and closer and closer. And at one point, Jesse turned, because he was the one leading. He came back and he's like, just so you know, the horses might either run at you or they might run at me. And I was like, okay, cool, that's fun, because the city slickers will have no clue how to stop them. And we went through it again on how to stop your horses, how to stay calm, how to not jump off
There you
if
go.
you get panicked, all this other stuff. Because if they jump off, they're going to jump off a cliff at the point where we were at.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we couldn't go anywhere except forward or backwards, and it was safer to just keep going forward.
that's me.
But at one point, we started turning around a corner, and I lost track of everybody in front of me because the rain was so bad. And then all of a sudden, I just saw this humongous like wall of white next to me. It struck the ground. I could hear the rocks flying. It was like 10, 15 feet from me. Like, my horse's mane immediately shot up, my hair was standing up immediately, and like, I couldn't hear anything for a solid 3 seconds. So I was like, I really hope that everybody else is okay, because I could not see shit. I couldn't hear shit. Eventually I could hear Jesse shouting for me, because all the horses went forward, because the bolt struck by me. So all the other ones went forward into him. He caught them, he was doing a head count, couldn't find me, and he was shouting for me, but he couldn't come back because everybody else was still panicked.
Oh my.
The next guy that went out, they said they could see the black of the ground, where it was at. It was on the side of the trail.
Jesus Cristo.
I got so close to being struck by lightning.
Holy.
It was just a wall of white. And like, I was so close, I couldn't hear the thunder.
It was so loud that it just immediately burst your eardrums.
I could not hear shit. And for the rest of the week, I would always get like this ringing.
Yeah,
So-
it was so loud that it felt like you heard nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it was definitely an adrenaline rush. And I still love being in thunderstorms. But like, I haven't gotten that close to being struck by lightning in a bit.
Oh my
I would never be.
god.
I would never want to go out in rain again.
I was 14 years old, and at the time it was terrifying. But afterwards, I thought it was the coolest shit.
Of course you did.
Oh my
Typical.
goodness.
Of course you did.
So great, you didn't die, so it's an awesome story.
Yeah, and I didn't get hurt. It was just my ears hurt for a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, those are my stories.
Katie.
I won.
Yeah, Katie won.
That is nuts, bro.
That's it. Last
Katie
one.
won.
That's so crazy.
Yep. That's probably the craziest one I have, but I have more that are like that.
Yeah.
No,
My horse, I will give my horse
Cannot
credit because he trusted me a lot. Like, he could have bolted, but had he bolted, we would have gone into like where the burn rocks were and off the cliff, because he was pointed straight, and he started off that way, and I was able to turn him around so he didn't get hurt. So I will also give props to my horse for being awesome.
We love.
Good work. What a good horse.
What
Love
a
that.
In Hollywood.
This was an episode.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
this episode slapped. I ain't
Wow.
gonna lie. Like this was a fire episode.
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you for having us on, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Appreciate.
Outro. Who wants to hear?
You guys want to do it again?
Yeah. I
Alright.
can do the crux of it. Okay. Alright.
Basically, yeah.
Continue.
So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to receive notifications for new and upcoming episodes. Questions, leave them down below.
In the comments, you know.
You know the drill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And on that note.
Follow us on social media.
we're